How's it going, everybody? It is August 23rd. This is Merch by Amazon, or Merch on Demand Sales Update. I basically just wanted to do a quick update on the total numbers, tell you guys how it's going, but I also wanted to point this out. After the 16th, and before this, there was the way that I would consider it is kind of like fun activity, right? I had a few uh, lower selling days, but it would always kind of like even out. There were more spikes than in the last a week and a half for sure. But after the 16th, it just never recovered. It never recovered significantly. My sales, I would consider this to be just brutal, just extremely bad. I mean, there's a 8 here, but uh, you know, if we look at these numbers, we're talking about threes and fours. Today, so far, it's just around noon. We're looking at two sales in the U.S. and four in total. But just across the graph here, it's pretty bad. Um, Again, that's the way it looks now. And if we look at the last week, overall, I mean, it's still bad, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's there. It's not a month where I would say this is a loss, right? I'm sitting at 130 sales in the U.S. so far, $2,466 in sales, and 382 in royalties. As you can see here, royalties per sale have gone under $3, and that's mostly because of pop sockets, 16% of the sales, so 21 total. And they don't like my I think my average is probably around $2 because most of them are 225. I remember I went through a phase where I was listing lower just to kind of test things out, but that didn't work out and didn't make any difference. So that's kind of why the sales have actually gone down. The other thing, and I actually don't know how much of an impact this has on the sales. Some people say it actually has a significant impact, and others say it should work the other way. And I'll explain what I mean. So what I haven't done is I actually haven't pretty much done anything with merch in the last 2 weeks. So some people have a theory, and again, this is I go back to the point where we really don't know. We don't know, but some people, their theory is, and they're convinced that if you're not editing, if you're not uploading products, if you're not uploading new designs, changing things around, that your sales will sink. That somehow Amazon is tracking your activity, and based on your activity, it's promoting certain products or whatever, and you'll see more sales. Other people say if you ever see your sales slow down, they say don't do anything, don't upload anything, just give it a few, because then you're somehow changing the rhythm of what you're doing. So therefore, your sales will change as well. Now, I don't believe any of those things. It's always going to come down to what Amazon is pushing in front of your customers, and of course the strength of your designs and descriptions and titles and all that kind of stuff. So I would just say this is most likely not due to my inactivity, but because it's that time during the summer where products that I have for sale and designs are just not selling. There's a bit of a slowdown, and I would say it probably isn't uncommon because even last year, July and October, I think there was a bit of a drop in sales, a dip in sales. We'll see what happens here. So let's see. So last year I went from uh, May, strong month, June, July, and then there was a bit of a drop in sales in August, at least for me, and then even more in September. So hopefully that's not the case, but who knows? Maybe that's going to happen. So we'll see. I don't think that this month will be much worse than August of 2022. I think it might be a little worse, but probably not a lot worse because if we're looking at even the 7 day average, even with these terrible sales, that would still put me over 170, 180 for the month in the US. If we're looking at total numbers, it's a bit of a different story. I'm sitting at 193. As you can see here, Japan and Germany are in double digits, but overall it really has slowed down for me. So that's kind of where I am right now. Royalties are adding up, so it's not terrible, but I'm definitely not expecting anything crazy to happen. And then to kind of do the same thing that I did with excuse me, U.S. sales. If I'm looking at 193 right now, and if we're taking into consideration that everything will continue as is, I can expect maybe about 70 additional sales. So that's going to be about 250, 260, possibly 270 total, which will still be a slower month, but definitely not a terrible month. So that's kind of where I am. Yeah, when I see this, that's just it looks rough, and I honestly I haven't had this kind of a week, I would say, in a very long time, because even if I do get a few threes and fours, there's always a bunch of spikes that are in double digits, but this is really really kind of like record breaking. So anyways, I'm curious how you guys are doing. Definitely haven't tiered up. Some people theorized that because I was one of the people that got switched to tier 1000 that one day, that was because they were preparing us for a tier up, but definitely not the case. But so far, things are going well. Nothing out of the ordinary. We have slow times, we have very active times, and this is one of those slow times. So, anyways, I'll wrap it up here. Thank you guys. Talk to you soon.